have up on the navigation screen the actual track from when we left Liverpool that charts the path of our boat. And at this moment, we just crossed that track, officially making circumnavigators.
On board the home boat Liverpool 08, celebrations too amongst the round-the-world crew. Theirs has been a marathon journey. It's a small club the circumnavigators join. More people have climbed Mount Everest than have sailed full circle around the planet. In the last closing miles of the final race home, the crew finally achieve their dream, to sail around the world. It's been nearly a year since 27-year-old taxi driver Lisa Pover left home in Liverpool. And for the first time, finally, she can now look forward to going home.
This time tomorrow, I'll be at home. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing, sailing down the Mersey, seeing the lava birds, all the thousands of people on the side like there was when we left. It's going to be amazing.
The challenges of the race have been a million miles from the normal life Lisa left behind. But a year at sea has left its mark.
If 10 months has taught me anything, or almost 11 months at sea, it's that you've got to live for today and not tomorrow. Definitely sailing a boat for 11 months with a bunch of people who you've never met before definitely allows you to put every skill that you have possible into the one pot and learn a few more along the way as well. I actually feel I'm now a developed grown woman for the very first time in my life actually.
The Clipper race for Lisa has been more than just a sailing trip. It's been a search for direction. Even before the race began, her days behind the wheel were numbered.
In my mind, back then, in the rush, there was still a little part of me that picked the taxi badge up with an intention of getting rid of it somewhere along the way when I was ready. And when I got to the equator, I was, and it went. That one particular part of my life's come to an end and the next one's going to start. I'm ready for change. I'm ready for the next step.
Lisa, like many of the Clipper crew, is sailing into a new life. At the head of the fleet, the battle still rages on board New York. With only a slender lead, skipper Dougie Gillespie is understandably nervous.
What we've been trying to do so far to date is try and hold off Hanahan, but that has been our main focus, almost regardless of the rest of the fleet. And that's been showing we've been ducking in and out of them. So far we've managed to do that. They're behind us, which is exactly what we want, but we've got to try and hold them off, and they are a very strong team.
Only a few miles behind, arch rivals Hull and Humber are in good wind and making steady progress.
Not too much.
The gap is closing. Every mile drifts by in agonizing slow motion.
It'll be close. We conceivably could get there about the same time they do, or just before. Well, we've slowed down from the 10 knots to the low 9s. Not a bad number, but pretty sure the boats behind us will be going a little faster, so we'll probably hoist our head sail. And even for the last 5 miles here, we'll pick up the pace.
Guys, can we hoist this number 2 now?
New York have fought a determined fight at the head of the fleet. And as the last few miles fade away and the finish line appears on the horizon, all they can do is wait for the call on the radio.
Gomera, New York.
Congratulations, New York. You are the winner of race 14. You are also the winner of the Clipper 0708 Round the Yacht.
In the early hours of a stormy morning, New York cross the finish line and become the winners of the Clipper 0708 Round the World Yacht Race. It's a well-deserved victory for the team, who lost their original skipper only 2 races in, and have battled back from the foot of the fleet to take 6 stage wins and the overall title. Following closely behind, Hull and Humber achieve a well-earned 2nd place overall. They've pushed the lead boat hard all the way. In overall third, Glasgow, Scotland with Style clipper. Hannah Jenner and her crew have overcome their own demons on the way. And in the dead of night, yet back on familiar territory, Liverpool 08 light up the River Mersey and say hello to their hometown once again. The final morning. The journey is over.
And the overall race has just been the best experience of my life.
The highs and lows are really what make it. The whole thing has been a roller coaster.
The whole journey really that we've been through has been such a series of adventures that it's hard to really capture what we've been doing.
You know that you're going to come back and you know that you're going to see the amazing waterfront again, but I don't know, it's always in the future, isn't it? You know, you're just living every day, aren't you? You're not living for when I get back in 10 months. You're living every day, you're too busy, and today's the day when we get back.
The time I've spent, the money I've spent, it's been well worth it. I'd do it again. My wife will be on the dock, and it's going to be a great moment.
10 months and 35,000 miles after leaving Liverpool, the Clipper fleet and its round-the-world cruise leave the River Mersey and enter the holding dock. The end has finally arrived.
Unbelievable experience, just absolutely brilliant. We've dismasted, we've broken other bits and pieces, we've fought on the boat, we've made up, and look, it's been absolute and amazing journey.
We've done 3 Atlantic crossings and we've crossed the Pacific and the Indian Ocean and the Yellow Sea, places that I wouldn't have been able to point to on a map, embarrassingly, beforehand.
I've seen huge changes in lots of people. People do this race for lots of different reasons. They're doing something which is totally out of their comfort zone. I mean, it's an amazing experience for everybody.
Absolutely brilliant. We've just had a bit of an emotional hug down below and given each other some gifts and stuff. And just coming back to this same dock after almost a year, it's quite a big thing, isn't it?
10 months ago, I didn't really know how to sail, certainly nothing this size. And now I sort of feel pretty confident, and we've actually circumnavigated the globe. So I think what I take away from it is if you set your mind to anything and you dedicate yourself 10 months, night and day, 24 hours, you can probably do anything.
And finally, after a dominating lap of the planet, finishing outside the top 3 on only 4 occasions, New York ties up as winner of the Clipper Round the World Yacht Race.
It's been a long month. We worked really hard, done the right things at the right times. Got a few things wrong, of course, but overall averaged out, and we've just won round the world race. It's only once in a lifetime even we can say you've done that.
Under Dougie's expert guidance, the crew of New York has blown the competition away. For now, the amateur crew are sporting heroes. The Clipper race is more than just a sailing competition. The challenges the crews have faced on the world's oceans have taught each person a different lesson. Every high, every low, every peak and trough of every wave has unveiled a new perspective for these everyday folk. And in the calm after the storm, so their new lives will forever be shaped by what they've seen and done in the last 10 months. The challenge of a lifetime may have finished, but the next is only just beginning.